today. It's Madden NFL football. It's the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
After the interception, here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
4-yard line.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
That is on the 6-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, Burrow. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him. Bring it up 4th down.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now Jackson on 1st down. Man up the left side is Brown. Touchdown. Marquise Brown, 43 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And on a stage of this magnitude, the conference championship, so many early game jitters can happen, so that score's a big relief to a coach.
Yeah, no one wants to mention that in the locker room before the game. No one says, hey, listen, don't fumble or don't do this because you don't want negative thoughts. That's why getting off to a good start is so huge for everyone. The first score in the conference title game, massive.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Queen came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Montez Sweat in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So a 56-yard punt, they'll net 41 after the 15-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On second down, it's Taylor. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
7, Bengals nothing.
On third down, Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 35. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. Eluding the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That's good for 28 yards.
It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line collected victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He's got his man. Boy. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well.
The ball hooked in the air and intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
Intercepted by the Bengals.
That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, You could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Queen on the tackle.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 at the 35-yard line.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some room to work. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense. Man, that ain't make no sense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
The ball carrier.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
3rd down.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Everson Griffin drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10. At their own 26.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Carl Lawson, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Green with a catch left side. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Again, it's Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Fourth down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it.
Will Lutz.
One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 30.
Up come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's Jackson. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
To the 49-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Keeper. Carl Lawson on the tackle. That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Taylor. That's good.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
AFC Championship tilt, third quarter of play. This is 2nd and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley.
And it's third down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. He can run for it, and he will. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. This time, Jackson will throw it. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. Intercepted by the Bengals. They'll take over first down. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Mixon. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He is out of bounds right around the 34. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. A gain of 11 on the play.
I actually love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
With the score. 1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And now they will throw it with Burrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A good rally to the football. Keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. He's not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Complete to number Auden Tate, 52 yards. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense. Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a two-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone for the Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 78 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at the big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
And he's able to put it through. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they are in need of points here, no doubt about that, with a Super Bowl berth on the line and trailing here in the fourth quarter. This possession, gigantic. Now, loses the football, and the Ravens have got it.
A fumble on the play.
He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Makes the score Ravens 24.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
At the 28.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tate, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll put him over 100 receiving yards now in this AFC title game. It's a first down. Now Burrow on first down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And Tate's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Everson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Oh, he stays up. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From midfield now, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
Fourth down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And that's caught inside the 30.
Burrow's pass.
They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. That is caught inside the 5. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Dobbins, the ball carrier. He's tackled at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
And the AFC champion has been crowned onto the Super Bowl. There cannot be a better feeling than this.
It's almost indescribable. And when we talk to players from the past, a lot of them mention getting to the Super Bowl, winning a conference championship, even before they talk about the Super Bowl itself. All that hard work to get to your goal, incredible.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.